What is going on, YouTube? Coming back today with my Appalachian State Mountaineers football preview for 2016. So talking about a team that went 11-2 last year, 7-1 in conference, good for second in the Sun Belt. Western Division? I could have sworn it's just all one division. Anyway, moving to the first of my three key players, and I'm going to start with the quarterback Taylor Lamb. So Lamb, a guy that should be a little bit more of a big name nationally, is, in my opinion, one of the best dual threat quarterbacks outside of the Power 5. I believe he threw for 31 passing touchdowns last year, also a very good runner. And I don't see him slowing down in any way in 2016. Two big games for Appalachian State on tap this year out of conference against Tennessee and Miami, where they can really prove themselves. And if Taylor Lamb wants to take a national spotlight, that's the time. So my second key player is the running back Marcus Cox, a guy that has over 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns in his career already for Appalachian State and should extend that again in 2016. Again, one of the better running backs in the country, one of the most productive running backs in the country as well. It's hard to think that he can be stopped this year. Terrence Upshaw, another name to watch in the backfield. They got a pretty deep stable of running backs. So my third key player, moving over to the defensive side of the ball, and the linebacker spot with John Law. So one of the bigger losses for App State in the offseason was Latrell Gibbs, ruled academically ineligible. Maybe was the best player on that defense before he was dismissed. But John Law leading a very deep set of linebackers featuring Ken Gilchrist, Eric Boggs, Devin Stringer, all juniors and seniors, and should be one of the more stout, not just one of the more stout like linebacking cores, but one of the more stout defenses in the Sun Belt. So my first X factor is build off last year's success. The fact that App State is such a young FBS program, just sliding up, I believe it was 2014. Let me check back on that. I think maybe 2013, but I don't know if they were in conference yet. I believe last year was only their second full season as an FBS program and already went 11-2. They got a chance to do something special this year. If they can be able to pull out second full season. If they're able to pull out like a 12-win season this year, then I think they'll start getting recognition as maybe a team that can move over to a Power 5 conference here soon enough with all the conference realignment being brought back up again. So my second X factor is the running game. I don't believe it's going to falter App State in any way, but this is also a conference where the best teams are very good at running, most namely Georgia Southern. So with Marcus Cox, Terrence Upshaw, Taylor Lamb at quarterback, they have one of the best sets, or just one of the best setups on offense to have a big year in the running game. I didn't even mention Jalen Moore, another guy that helped App State have more than 2,000 yards combined in the backfield last year. So moving to my trap game for App State, and I think it's going to be, this might sound weird, but Georgia Southern. App State will most likely be favored in that game. Granted, those are probably going to be the two best teams in the Sun Belt this year, barring Arkansas State still has a big year. They are split up into divisions. Okay, I screwed that up earlier. But yeah, the Sun Belt might be the weakest conference in college football, but it doesn't mean there's not good teams in the conference. There's good teams in every conference. Georgia Southern with Matt Braid is going to be a good team this year. There's no doubt about that. So move on to my biggest game for App State, and I'm going to say it's Tennessee. This might sound weird that I'm not putting in conference game as their biggest game, but again, I do believe they are genuinely the favorites to win the Sun Belt this year, like far and away. Again, Georgia Southern is going to challenge. The game is in Statesboro or Georgia, so that's important. But again, if App State wants to establish themselves as a nationally respected team, that's the game to do it. Beating Tennessee, and I think their first game of the year, that'd be crazy. and then you'd have Miami at home 2 weeks after that. So moving to my record prediction for App State, I think they're going to go 11-2 once again. I think this season's going to take a different course because I don't think that they're ready to step up on that level yet. Miami maybe, but Tennessee just runs over out of conference non-Power 5 teams normally. Just look at the Bowling Green game last year. Bowling Green was a very good team, and Tennessee at that time, they lost to OU and just railed one of the best non-Power 5 teams. So yeah, the same thing might happen again this year. The game is at Neyland. That's not going to help. Miami, again, one of those teams where I just feel like they're just a little too good right now. The rest of the games I think App State's going to take. I think they're going to take their first Sun Belt Conference championship, and I think they're also going to take their bowl game. So, in effect, a little bit better season than last year, even though it would be the same record. So that'll pretty much do it for my Appalachian State Mountaineers football preview for 2016, and I'll be finishing off not just my set of previews today, but my entire set of previews overall with San Diego State to finish off the day. So that's pretty much it. See ya.